Wednesday's episode of youtube.com/ImprovGaming, the Gamescast. As usual, I am the biggest Zelda fan in the world. If you don't believe me, I have a tattoo of the Triforce on my right arm.
And the Master Sword in his pants.
Mr. Jeremy Berg coming at you, biggest Zelda fan once again. I'm joined by my two best friends in gaming and outside of gaming as well. First to my across the table, he has the best ponytail in the business.
It's fabulous.
Mr. Nicholas DeHazen.
How's it going tonight, everybody?
And to my right, he is Mr. Wondering. I'm Wondering himself, excuse me, Mr. Pete Anderson.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, interesting. Just to give a quick heads up, guys, we're going to have all the evil you can handle coming your way for Friday's episode, but we're going to have all of our coverage, so...
Yep, starting tomorrow.
Yep.
Starting tomorrow, we're going to have Jeremy and Pete starting their Evo coverage. We're going to forego our Friday episode. Today we're actually going to be combining two topics into one. Mm-hmm. And that's going to continue throughout the weekend.
To a console near you.
To a console near you.
We're going to have 5 people on, so it's going to be a hefty one.
It'll be coming to you live from Evo, from the hotel room in Vegas.
What probably will happen to a console near you is we'll talk a little bit about big news in gaming, maybe a couple of releases, but the topic of the show is going to be all about Evo.
Yes.
So be ready for that, guys.
And then followed up by some more coverage for Monday and Tuesday?
Just Monday.
Just Monday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
and then,
Sunday we come back. So Monday me and
No, we come back Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Monday will be like the aftermath of Evo and all the extra stuff.
Yep.
Maybe we'll throw up the, not throw up literally, but we'll put up the, maybe the behind the scenes stuff, some shenanigans.
Yeah,
So,
and then we'll all be back here at this table on Wednesday.
Let's go for it. But we'll explain that again at the end. Don't you worry.
I don't fucking have any apples today. I've had
You don't have any apples.
I fucked up again.
Well, here's a thought then, if I may.
There we go. Thank you, Nick.
Since we're combining,
Thank you, Nick.
since we're combining episodes,
Yes, they got
topics.
it. They got it.
Did they? Okay, good.
I don't know if you got
Here's
it.
a thought.
They got it.
Here's a thought. All right. In the light of Evo and everything that's going on, I think that the system that they have in place to determine your rankings and who you're combating
The bracket
next,
system,
the bracket system, I think that needs to be a bit more refined because from what I understand, this is a very flimsy system.
Oh, I'm gonna give you something in a minute.
Okay. This is again. This is like
I'm not Sergio. I'm gonna.
This is from outside. As an outside viewer in, it's a very flimsy system that could be changed at any moment at the last second.
I agree with you.
And certain people don't need to combat any assailants to proceed to the next round.
Oh, you mean the pass system?
But not just that. I'm not even just talking about that. But I'm talking about from what I understood from a lot of people that are going to this event. It seems like right now you just have a preliminary phase of rounds.
Yeah.
And it could change at any moment if there's something that happens.
Yeah, literally, it's...
So this is all just like, maybe this is how it's going to work. I don't know yet.
Yeah, it always says this could be your brackets for now, subject to change. Basically meaning you could have one bracket set up and then 3 people don't show up for whatever reason, then 3 people get passes, or sometimes what they'll do very rarely is, like say there's 2 opponents there and their opponents don't show up, they'll put them against each other, and sometimes... It's the thing that sucks is because they don't do the ranking by like the top tier guys fight the top tier guys first. It's just everybody goes against each other and they weed the crap out of.
Well, I can understand that, right? You just weed the thin out, right? I mean, obviously that's gonna suck for a pro to go up against somebody.
First year, I got stuck with a pro and I got whooped.
Yeah,
so.
it's gonna suck for a pro to go up against an amateur that just started because that amateur won't be able to get the experience of dealing with people in his ranking. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that, but
the best camera girl got a ranked person in the Tekken tournament, and I feel so bad for her. I checked hers up. I looked at everybody's, and I'm like, that sucks facing him because he's not easy to beat. So
I'm gonna win my first round of Street Fighter. Mark my words.
good fucking luck, bitch.
I will win my first round of Street Fighter. You heard it here first.
that's what I was referring to. Was this guy over here arrogant, talking shit? I'm gonna laugh if you get obliterated your second round. I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
I'm gonna film that fight and I'm gonna send it to you and post it. Be like,
you need to watch the competition before yours. You need to be there and present for that to watch the guy and see like, oh shit, because that's the guy you're facing. Whoever wins that one, you're up against. And if they're just like fucking phenomenally nasty, oh man, I just want to see your face drop.
I'll film it and then I'll be like, here you go, Nick. Here you go.
I just want to see your face drop.
So you want to talk about flimsy systems? Fuck you, Comic-Con. You assholes dicked me over again this year.
God, that was absolutely terrible.
Let me...
Gone like that. You had to fucking
Here's what
wait,
happened.
and they were already gone.
They were like, first they were like, okay, you have to fan register. You have to verify. You actually have to verify and sign up and everything, which you and your sister did not do. So I got your passes, but the problem is I tried to verify you guys, and they're like, we can't let these go because they're not registered. So basically, I'm waiting until the time runs out and I'm getting my fucking money back. Fuck you, Comic-Con. Here's what happened. They go, you're stuck on this lottery queue. I had it on my phone. I had it on my computer. My computer didn't move. My phone looked like it was moving. And then I waited. And all of a sudden, I just keep seeing 3D passes are 25% off. Sold out. 50, 100, like not 75. I click the fucking, and then all of a sudden it's like, sold out 3D passes. I go to my computer. I'm like, why the fuck can I not get in on this? What the fuck is the problem? All of a sudden, puts me right up there. How do you like damn apples, you motherfuckers? You suck. I'm so fucking pissed at that. Like...
So we did get an apples in the long run.
Yeah, we did. No, it hit me because you said I'm like fucking flimsy ass fucking system. Guys, I know you're trying to kill scalpers and shit. Literally, fuck the verification thing. Just fucking release the tickets, and as soon as they sell out, cap it. Call it a day.
Or
Get a better system.
Don't let them sell out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why not? Fuck you guys.
So we're not going to Comic-Con?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't get you both in, so there's no reason.
So did you get in though?
I can get in, but why the fuck would I want to do that to you guys? That's not fair.
Oh, that's fair.
I hate going by myself. It's boring.
so what about one-day passes? Are those still available?
I don't know. I have 3 one-day passes for me, and then I was getting 2 for them, but I can't get them in. So
we'll figure it out maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like one day, I don't see why we couldn't like join you on one day.
You have to do the fan verification to get the tickets.
We can always do that.
We'll see.
Figure it out.
We'll figure something out.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
If you didn't know, this is the greatest video games cast in all of Mushroom Kingdom, all of the defunct Albion, and in all of the shitty not so shitty Assassin's Creed series. We're 3 best friends who talk about video games every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Come on, brain. And also every Tuesday and Thursday, we bring you special Let's Plays. Once in a while, we do live streams, mostly because of this kid right here. And also, we bring you the biggest news in gaming via the 1UP News presents To a Console Near You on blogtalkradio.com/fillingthevoid RN simulcast with youtube.com/ImprovGamers.
He said simulcast.
I did too.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Didn't I?
You said simultaneously,
Yeah,
but
not simulcast.
simulcast is the word.
Simulcast.
So you call and you can chat in the comments.
Yep. But if that sounds good to you guys, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, like, and comment. And now, onto the topic at hand. Movies and music with video games.
Movies and music with video games. All right, let's define the parameters.
All right.
Movies are kind of like self-explanatory, right?
We kind of already touched on this one. So
any movie that was spawned from a video game, but not vice versa, right? Not video games that came from movies.
Oh, you want to do it that way?
Are we doing it that way? Is that the way?
So you're saying
we already talked
so like Spider-Man, we can't do that as a video game because that was a movie first.
But we could do Assassin's Creed because
that was a video game and then it became a movie.
All right, cool.
that was the
That,
plan.
you know, like
Absolutely.
Halo Until Dawn, we can do that because that was a video game first and then they made a movie.
It was a series, not a movie.
Until Dawn, Forward Until Dawn is a movie.
No, it's a series.
No,
it's
the-
episodes.
There's another one. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of another one.
Yeah,
that's
I know
not.
you're wrong.
There's,
I know you're
there's
wrong.
another one. No, I'm pretty sure it's Forward Until Dawn.
It's
Not
a
the series, the movie that's on Netflix.
Yes.
As a movie, not
Yeah,
a
but
series.
they put it all together. But it originally
That
started
is
as episodes.
not the same thing
Yes.
as the series that I've watched on Guardians or on Halo 4.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Yes, Halo
Okay.
4.
Maybe the fans can help us out with this. Am I right or is Nick right? In the comments, thank you guys. So, let's talk about some of these that came out this year. And yes, I will bring it up because I know you guys are looking at me. Ratchet and Clank.
Oh god.
No one cares.
We're not talking about
This movie should have came out 10 years ago.
It should have never come out.
No, it should have came out 10 years ago at its popularity. Coming out 10 years later, we're trying to...
It shouldn't have come out at all.
Thank you.
10 years ago, it would have been competing with Toy Story.
Which
And
it
all the
would have-
Pixar movies. And it would have been obliterated.
Yep.
10 years ago, people weren't taking video games as seriously as they're taking them now. 10 years ago, it would have flopped horribly and destroyed the franchise.
Yep.
Show me what you really think, Nick.
10 years ago, video game movies would have fucking sucked across the board.
Yep.
I give to you Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that was fucking...
That did not destroy the Mario Brothers.
You're right. All right, Bob Hoskins, right? You had John Leguizamo,
Yep.
and Dustin Hoffman.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, I'm sorry. Wrong guy.
Close.
Close. Dennis Hopper.
You got the DH right, so.
To me, that's an A-list fucking team of characters.
Yeah.
Of people. And they still bombed.
Oh, that's awesome.
The only thing that was actually legitimate about the movie was the title thing. You see the movie, was it TriStar or whatever comes up and you hear da-na-na-na-na-na, and then it fades. And I'm like, that's it.
And they were plumbers.
Yep.
Well, technically, Mario and Luigi are plumbers.
I know. That's
but-
the only thing that was real about the movie was that
was
you
accurate.
heard and that they were plumbers.
I don't think I've
Bowser
ever
is
seen
not a
that movie
T-Rex.
in full.
Bowser is a turtle dragon.
Really?
I don't think I've ever seen the movie in full.
I have.
It was like dinosaurs too. It was fucking weird. It was dinosaurs that mutated into humans in order to
actually
hide
played-
from humans. It was fucking strange.
Yeah,
it was like that is not what fucking Mario is. I'm sorry.
And they managed to turn the Mushroom Kingdom into a full-blown scorched desert with like a few city blocks. You're not watching fucking Judge Dredd, ladies. and
Yeah, it was fucking weird, and it was in an alternate dimension, which
Yeah.
was strange too. And they were trying to merge the dimensions.
Well, not the merged dimensions, but in my mind, the Mushroom Kingdom could be an alternate dimension or a different world. But never mind, scratch that. I love that face.
So, the Assassin's Creed movie's coming out. What do we think about that?
Don't give a shit.
Do we think that it can... Now that video games are taking more
They're
seriously...
taking it much more seriously. You see that Michael Fassbender is really taking it seriously. You see that the directors are really taking it seriously. Ubisoft is taking it very seriously. I don't understand why they changed the dynamic of the Animus.
Well, you're gonna see Michael Fassbender laying in an Animus all day like this.
Yeah, but you don't ever see Desmond laying in the Animus. You see him get into it, and then that's it. You're off to fucking Wonderland.
Yep.
So you never experience Desmond just sitting there laying in it, and there could be conversations with him laying in the background of the Templars talking about whatever it might be that they're planning behind his back while he's sleeping in the Animus. Being in the Animus the way that the Animus was designed leaves to a lot of narrative-driven aspects behind the scenes where Desmond didn't hear. So having Michael Fassbender laying down in a comatose state on an Animus really can drive a full-fledged narrative in a movie. So I don't see why not. It would be a comatose state.
It reminds me of The Matrix. When they plug in.
Yeah,
And then they just...
he's got the thing attached to the back of his head, and it's fucking bracing his neck or some shit like that, and it just seems really strange. Just that whole fucking GLaDOS coming down and grabbing somebody by the head. Just
GLaDOS, really?
yeah, it looks like I'm sorry, it looks like GLaDOS came down and grabbed somebody by the head.
No. When it comes to movies now, there's talks about doing an Uncharted movie. There's talks about doing a Last of Us movie, which is kind of concerned because these are great franchises. Not saying Assassin's Creed is not a great franchise or World of Warcraft, but you see with these top-notch franchises being like World of Warcraft. To some, everybody liked. To most, not everybody took too well to it,
Interesting factoid, and I know this is kind of unrelated, or it's related. District 9 came out as an answer to Bungie denying the director the rights to direct a Halo movie.
I remember that.
And he was like, okay, I'll make my own fucking aliens, and I'll rock it. And I thought District 9 was absolutely fucking fantastic. I liked it. I loved it. I want a sequel. I want District 10 or District 11 or whatever the fuck.
9.2?
9.2.
I want District 8.
Or Christopher Comes Back. Whatever it is.
He left?
Yes.
No,
yes.
I never saw the movie.
You never saw the movie?
No.
Very good movie.
No.
Really
You really should see it. If you can get past all the motion sickness of the movie, it's really good.
It's like Hardcore Hank. I want to see that movie, but that looks like it would get me
Yeah.
so fucking
Well, I
sick.
heard fucking great things about Hardcore Hank.
Yeah.
Harry.
And I would have Hardcore Harry. I would consider that kind of like a video game-esque kind of movie.
Yeah, so
It's like all
first
shot in first person, which
Yeah.
wouldn't have come along if it wasn't for video games.
If it wasn't
Damn
for
right.
fucking Cloverfield, which
Yeah.
did that whole first-person view thing, but...
But what other things about movies? Nothing really. We've touched on it a bunch of times. You can always check out.
Yeah, well,
older
we've got
videos.
Ratchet and Clank, right? That came out. We've
This
got
year.
World of Warcraft that we've got coming
Assassin's
out.
Creed.
We've got Assassin's Creed
There's
coming
rumors
out.
of a Sly Cooper movie. There's rumors
Oh, I
of
would
Last
You know,
of
there's
Us.
even rumors of like the Zelda Netflix thing that
That's
you
been
know,
reborn. We
yeah,
don't
that's
know,
been like
so.
up and down and up and
I
down.
think all that needs to happen. I've said this many times. All that needs to happen is that one video game movie just to fucking.
Well, I think we had that one video game movie that just fucking catapulted everybody into looking in them, and that was called fucking Tomb Raider. That was the reason why everybody else started actually paying attention to transitioning video games into movies.
It did, but I thought the movie was terrible.
Yeah,
I couldn't sit there. I'm just like, this is-
Angelina Jolie with her boobies jumping around.
That's why Nick.
But that's essentially what Lara Croft was to a lot of us. Was just like, oh wow, here's
Tits and ass.
like, no offense, like I think Lara Croft is a badass character, but back then I was a fucking 13-year-old boy. Wow, tits and ass and guns, perfect.
Oh, you like cubes? You like staring at cube
like,
movies? Go
tits,
ahead.
ass, and guns, and then they made a movie and it was pretty much tits, ass, and guns, and it was like they exactly understood why I like Tomb Raider.
What I think needs to happen with movies, and then we'll get into music in a second, but
Yep.
I think they need something like an Uncharted or Last of Us or something or even Assassin's Creed with a great story that could be told, and then people to go, you know, maybe video games has a place in the silver screen, you know? Because yes, you have Ratchet Clank and World of Warcraft and Tomb Raider, but you know, those stories are just, they're good. They're good stories, not taking anything away from any of them. But if you get something like an Uncharted or like Assassin's Creed done right, where it's like, oh, this is back in the day and this is how this whole thing works, and what's the company from Syndicate? I'm trying to remember. Help me out here, Nick.
Syndicate.
Yeah, like the Abstergo, you know. Oh, what's that all about? And to really engage the audience is something that I think could.
I don't know. I think that the only way it could work is if you get the best of both worlds, right? You have a bunch of characters that haven't been established very well, and you allow a Hollywood director kind of describe the mythos behind them. And the way that worked out very well was in Mortal Kombat.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say if you really want to do something like that, take your idea, take a really good story, like a really good solid video game story franchise, and do it like fucking Captain America: Civil War. My case in point is, because it's not the full what happened in the Civil War comic books, it was a different take on it, but they knocked it the fuck out of the park, and if anyone disagrees with me,
and
fuck you.
That's what the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been able to do very well, is kind of take bits and pieces, but still keep the soul of the characters alive inside of it.
That's why the fans love it, because they're like, okay, it's close to it, it's not going to happen, it's a different take, but it's really fucking
It's really good. It's different. It's not, like, it still throws me for a curveball, but it still freaking adds up and it still works well together.
Yep.
So, I think the same treatment that they gave the comic books is the same treatment that they need to give video games. The problem is, comic books have been around for longer than movies.
Yeah,
to be honest. So to say that
movies have been out longer since comic books.
No, not at all. People have been drawing on walls far longer.
Okay. No,
there's
there's just comics as a media.
People have been drawing on walls far longer than anybody.
I say one thing wrong and it gives me shit.
I'm just saying. I mean, the fucking what?
Drawing on walls is not a fucking comic book.
It is if it tells a story.
Yeah, it's a story. It's not a fucking comic book.
Then where did the comic
Two
books
episodes
come from?
arguing. Fuck you.
Where the fuck did the comic books come from? I'm just saying, there's inspiration behind comic books, and it comes from telling stories through pictures.
That's fair. I agree with you. Jesus Christ, say one fucking thing wrong. I know what it's like to be you.
Yep.
God damn.
So I think you know, being that comic books and the art of telling stories through just images has been around far longer than anything, so it was easier to transition.
Yeah.
Video games are difficult because there's a lot of backstory. There's a lot of behind the scenes. There's a lot of things going on that aren't just blurted in your face. So if you were to go through BioShock and try to turn that into a movie, what are you missing out on that the fans really need you to know? If you don't play the game in depth, there could be a lot of pivotal points that you're missing out on. Not just the twist at the end where it says, "Would you kindly?" Not just that. There might be a lot more going on that you should have been reading, that you should have been looking into, that you should have been discovering if you were traveling the world of what the fuck is the place called? Rapture. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is Rapture?
You know, that the twist of Would You Kindly might not suffice in order to.
That could be like Citizen Kane with
Fuck Citizen Kane.
What's the thing?
Yeah, I said that.
Not
Rosebud.
Rosebud.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying.
I know.
If you're gonna transition something like BioShock into the movie, you can't just use Would You Kindly because it's been done thousands of times in the movie universe. You have to tell me why it is that BioShock deserves to be a movie, and you have to show me that on the silver screen.
That's because if they don't do what you're saying, you're gonna get the Warcraft effect, which basically, like, I played the games, I know some of it, I don't know full in
It's a
depth.
broad stroke of we're just covering all these little points.
Like I said, it was entertaining to me, but unless you play the games, you're not gonna know what the fuck is going on in that movie.
Pretty much.
Before we go into music, I do want to shout out the indie game movie. It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's about 3 different games. It's about Braid, which was released in 2008. It's about Super Meat Boy, which was preparing for its 2011 release. And of course, Fez and its development hell. But it's cool. It follows, especially you gotta remember, Super Meat Boy was made by 2 people. And so was the movie. But, it goes through all their hardships and everything and trying to get this game off the ground. Absolutely fantastic. You have a Netflix account. Check it out. It is the indie movie. The indie game movie. It's absolutely fantastic. 3 indie developers, like I said, are on
I thought
Braid,
video game was good too. Video game was a documentary. If I'm right.
Video Games the movie?
Video Games the movie, where it
goes
through the history of the decline of video games during the 80s and the resurgence of video games.
I love shit like that.
Yeah, I thought that was an
So definitely check those out if you have Netflix. Yeah. It's cool because you see an insight in the indie development cycle, and it's kind of really cool. Yeah. But changing gears and going into music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some music.
Yeah. Let's start with whatever you want to talk about, Pete. I know you have something on mind.
Of course I do. I have many things. When it comes to music, like with the books, I have 2 different ideas of it. One is the orchestras. Like with us, with The Legend of Zelda. Like going to hear that music play live is from an orchestra is absolutely fantastic. Or the Halo music. To go to a concert hall and hear this music be played in front of people that adore that music is absolutely insane.
The best thing was when Skyward Sword came out for the 25th anniversary, they gave you
the CD.
The CD, which is the 25th anniversary, all the music from all different Zelda games. And I didn't realize I had the damn thing in my case, so I put it on my iPod and listened to it. And it's so funny because it starts from the first intro and then plays a couple of main themes, this, that, these, and those. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool, I remember this. And all of a sudden I just hear they actually do like the intro to A Link to the Past, which is and the friggin' goosebumps just come upon me, and I'm like, let's do this.
Nice.
That's right. It's very cool when the game gives you like a music to it. Like I remember getting The Witcher 3, my game of the year last year, and it gave a CD of the music, and it's still in my car because sometimes I just play it and it's just this high fantasy, like very whimsical but like aggressive, a great soundtrack, and there's no doubt that music, of course, adds to games. Yeah. Like, Halo, that score in Halo is something that...
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised that they hadn't been doing this more often because, as we very well know, they have had orchestras in a studio recording these for a very long time, so they should have been releasing them like the Halo score. The Halo score was recorded by an orchestra. They actually brought in an orchestra to play that, and that's how you got that on Halo. So why it was we never got the orchestral CD of everything that goes on in Halo and every single CD that comes, or every single game that comes
Even God of War, you hear, especially from E3 with that orchestra. Yeah, it's just like, man, this is energy music that that's gym music right there. I want to put on some God of War music and just go, while I'm going on the treadmill lifting weights. That's Sony, God of War coming out 2017 if God of War
fucking release a fucking orchestra
but I
soundtrack.
Now I think there's more CDs. Like I said, with The Witcher, Halo's starting to be a little bit more concentrated music,
Well, it seems like developers are starting to understand that this can be multimedia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, unfortunately for me, you guys already know where I kind of stand on this. Stay to one genre. I feel like you need to focus on the troubled parts. Right now, you guys are starting to branch out a little too far, and you're starting to lose sight of video games being video games.
Yep.
And that's a problem. when you start to lose sight of where it is that you stand, because you don't see that same shit happening with comic books. Comic books aren't losing sight of the fact that they're comic books by spreading out to the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the DC Cinematic Universe. You don't see that happening, or the Dark Horse Cinematic, like, that's not happening. It's not because we made a Hellboy, all of a sudden we're going to start not paying attention to our comic books. So what video games need to understand is there's a place for you. It's already called home, and you need to mind your home before you start going out into the world and start minding all that shit. You need to make sure that your home is secure and safe before you go out into the world. And I think they're too young to understand that. Now they're just trying to, like, oh, let's do everything we can and let's just throw out all this shit all over the place.
Yeah.
And they didn't learn from the past where, you know, fucking Atari had no control over, or didn't control what kind of content was being put out onto their system. So developers were just throwing out garbage after garbage after garbage after garbage, and it all culminated into E.T. being released, and everybody was like, the fuck is this nonsense?
What did you do?
And, you know, being utterly and just let down completely, and just all faith in the industry gone. They stand the chance of doing the same thing if they decide that they're going to start branching out into all these other multimedia avenues without minding home, without making sure that the video games are actually good, that the video games are engaging. And I think that's where the indies come in, right? The indies are very engaging, very fun, very, very pioneering.
There it is.
But without the support of the big guys, that could also just whimper out without a fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, it's like scary, but very interesting, and seeing it, like, I'm a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Like, I'm very excited to see them start to branch out, but at the same time, I'm very scared to see them start to lose focus in video games.
Yeah.
Any last record?
The closest thing I can remember to when we actually got video game music on a CD was back during the Nintendo 64 era. I used to get, like, Nintendo Power, and in the back they actually attach a Nintendo catalog, and I remember they had, like, Banjo-Kazooie, Jet Force Gemini, Ocarina of Time. They had all these different soundtracks that I bought. I wish I had taken better care of those CDs, because they're just so scratched and beat up now. It's like, I remember...
We were young. We didn't know better.
Yep, I remember I would just listen to the Banjo-Kazooie CD, and it would start from the beginning of the game where you're on, like, Spiral Mountain, then you go into, like, the Witch's Lair, and then you'd have, like, the battle musics and stuff, and I'm like, wow, like, so it was more simple back then. So, like, you take whatever game music is, and you just throw it on a CD. Oh, instant catch, let's do this.
It's cool. One thing I have to say is, and this is for all the developers and publishers and all that, if you ever have a game and you have a choice to add the soundtrack, absolutely add the soundtrack. Yep. I got that with Tearaway. I enjoyed the hell out of the Tearaway, and I got the soundtrack to boot. And it's on my Vita, and I've been enjoying that soundtrack. Witcher 3, same thing. You know, you come with the soundtrack, I'll be ecstatic. I think Dead Space I got a CD for, but don't quote me on that. But rounding out,
Smash Bros. Did
well, there's another aspect of music in video games that I want to touch on briefly. Okay. And that's when the music industry draws inspiration from video games.
I was hoping he'd say that because...
Well, this is a twofold thing, right? I was just listening to a couple of hip-hop songs the other day, and there was, like, a lyrical reference to a lot of video game characters, and I was like, that's cool. Hearing certain people in the music industry who I respect and regard as like, powerful and momentous hip-hop artists going, not current hip-hop artists, let's be clear. I'm going to be very clear, not current hip-hop artists, but like old school hip-hop artists that are making references to video games that only a gamer would understand. Yeah. Yep. Not video game reference that somebody that's standing by looking would understand, but somebody that actually knows the mythos of Mario, for instance, would understand that that's how it works. Oh, wow, he fucking got it. He knows exactly how Mario really is. And then there's the other avenue, which is, I think it's called nerdcore, which is hip-hop designed around video games.
Interesting.
So, I believe... I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Gray Box or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. And it's a guy that wrote an entire album, and the tracks are remixed versions of the Final Fantasy VII orchestral songs. with the story being told in his lyrics.
That's pretty
through the
cool.
album.
I like that.
And it's fucking absolutely amazing. I'm like, holy shit. So those are two things that I wanted to touch on when it came to music. Like the mainstream hip hop artists or even musical references that you get whenever people start to talk about video games, and then like this other avenue of nerdcore that kind of just spawned from us being video game fans.
They also on YouTube. There's so many artists out there that just take these these games and just make a rap about them. You know, Mega Ran is like an example.
That's who I was talking about. Was Mega Ran. I forgot his name, but thank you.
You're welcome. I was waiting for you. But, you know, for him to take just like these franchises and make these songs, which are fucking A-list songs that you're just like, damn, like I understand, I'm enjoying this, you know, it's absolutely fantastic. You were going, sir.
I was gonna say, because I'm not diverse in like rap and hip hop, but I just remember like it's what I call like video game shoutouts. Like they're just like saying I'm doing this and then I'm doing that. Like Still Tipping by Mike Jones has Slim Thug saying blowing on that endo GameCube Nintendo, and I'm just like, this is like back 2001 2002, and I'm just like, yes, thank you, just shit like that. I love stuff like that. So like, I know a lot of songs will like make like a PlayStation reference and then like a couple others, but those are the only two I really remember. So
Gotcha.
I went to my little rap phase. I didn't change the apparel, but just like, I was listening to hip hop for a while. I'm like, and then I'm like, let's rock.
So, to close out, just a little housekeeping. Check out the Let's Play of the Street Fighter V. What? You didn't go?
No, he's supposed to close out.
That's all right.
No.
Pete, please.
Go ahead, Pete.
I'm not closing out. I'm housekeeping.
Okay.
There's a difference.
He's minding his
Whatever
house.
you said.
Nick.
You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
All right.
Do you have faith in me?
No.
Of
Never.
course not.
I
You
got
hate me all the time. Check out the Let's Play of Street Fighter V, the story mode, also the first 10 minutes of Inside. Check out all the previous Tool Console near you. We have some good topics on that. You can find that over on iTunes podcast at Filling the Void Radio Network. You can find us all, and there's also some cool stuff with wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, check them out too as well. Remember, coming up tomorrow starts our craziness with Evo, and it's going to go all the way till Sunday.
Yep.
Where we end off with it to a console near you live, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
And then Monday will
But
be
it's
like...
going to be 4 p.m. Pacific time for us.
4 p.m., yeah, but...
So remember, 4 p.m. Pacific time if you're in the Pacific, or 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be talking all about our thoughts about Evo and all that
And then
fun
Monday
jazz.
will be like the aftermath and everybody's thoughts of Evo and
The
everything.
highlights reel and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of nonsense will be on Monday.
Yep.
So a whole bunch of stuff. So don't expect a Friday episode, don't expect a Monday, but we will be back next Wednesday. So all the Evo news, you know where to keep it. Nick?
And as always, game on.
If you want to say that, that's fine. I thought you were going to say something else. You hate me so much. Don't you?
Yeah, I do. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, game on.